Hey guys, welcome to another luxury beauty lowdown. I actually haven't done this, I think in more than a month, so I'm a little overdue. We're going to be talking about some of my recent favorites, fails, and just general thoughts on as many of the things that I played around with and tested this past few weeks. I do have some very few, like fashion stuff, some skincare, and then a whole lot of makeup. Was there a lot of releases the past few weeks, or is it just me? I don't know. I feel like it was just like this deluge of new makeup. Not that I'm complaining, because how exciting is that? Okay, let's start with some fashion stuff. So as you guys know, I love a good fleece. I love a good collarless jacket. I love animal print. And so AYR, which they have like fast become one of my favorite brands. They make my favorite jeans, several versions actually, like the Knockout, the Frenchie, like so many really, really well shaped, shall we say, well shaped, very subtle, like barrel leg jeans. Anyway, I love them. Material is great, but they came out with this fleece jacket, which is reversible. So we have this leopard print fleece, and then we have black nylon that it reverses to. So either or, you guys know, I also love like nylon. This is great in all weather. Fleece is so great. I cannot wait for the upcoming cooler months, which I know has already hit like the East Coast and the North or whatever. Here in Vegas, it's still a little bit too warm for something like this, but as soon as I got this emailer from AYR, I did not hesitate. I just went and I purchased it. So I have it in a size medium. I'll throw up some shots of me just, wearing it over, I think, probably my pajamas. But I just wanted to put it on for you guys so you guys can, get a sense of sizing or whatever. But I love this. It's so squishy, and it's the perfect combination for me. Collarless, fleece, animal print, reversible. It has pockets. I mean, all the things. It's like the perfect everyday throw around coat. So I just had to mention that because I love it. I love it so much. And I happen to be wearing an AYR shirt. This is actually a linen shirt in this color, which I've always loved. But I think since dyeing my hair blonde, this color actually looks even better. It was okay when I had my dark hair and like my grays kind of coming in. It was okay. I didn't mind it, but I think it looks really nice against my blonde hair. But anyway, I'm wearing this today because it's linen, and I'm like, the weather is getting cooler. I'm not going to have much more of a chance to wear linen this year if I don't get it in now. So anyway, I threw this on too. It's just gorgeous. It's a great oversized linen shirt. Super duper easy. Like one of those perfect like brunch running errands tops. So anyway, wanted to mention those couple of things from AYR. And if you've been here for a while, you know how much I love that brand. So just wanted to mention that. And then skincare. So I wanted to mention this cleansing oil. This is from Mara. This is their algae enzyme cleansing oil. It is chia and moringa, and it has I believe 4 different fruit enzymes in here. Now I have very, very sensitive skin, and in the past, I mean, this is decades ago, I remember trying like a pineapple enzyme face wash. I don't even remember who it was from, but it really irritated my skin. And so I've been very cautious about fruit enzymes, which can be just as strong, shall we say, just as strong as like an AHA or BHA, because it really does kind of slough off, or for lack of a better term, like eat away at like the superficial level of your skin, to kind of give you a nice exfoliation, to bring out some of the like newer, smoother skin layers, and just to slough off like dead cells. So, if you suffer from eczema or any sort of like your barrier has been compromised kind of skin issues, that's not always the best thing. So I've been very, very cautious with that. But anyway, this has been wonderful. And you can see that it is an oil that has like this thicker kind of gel in there, and you have to shake it. So you want to shake it up so that they're completely combined. And then when you pump it out, I think what I love about this oil so much is that it has, I think because of that denser substance, it has like a really rich kind of thick texture. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, let me just pump some out. It's a little bit thicker than your typical cleansing oil. And I love a good cleansing oil. I have very dry skin. I think when you wear SPF, sometimes it's just really difficult to remove. You really want to break it down. I find cleansing oils really to be the best, or cleansing balms, but cleansing oils are great for like a first, kind of getting rid of that first layer. And my only issue with cleansing oils is that usually they're very runny, and it's just kind of like you're just managing it. Like it's running through your fingers, it's running down your face, the whole thing. Like I'm always kind of doing this, getting it like from running down my neck or whatever. But this doesn't do it because it has like a richer, thicker kind of texture to it. And it leaves my skin so soft, no doubt because of those enzymes, but really, really gentle, again, because I have such sensitive skin. So I've really been loving this oil, and it doesn't really have a fragrance or a scent or anything like that. Nothing that I've noticed. But yeah, I really, really love it. And I've been loving, excuse me, and I've been loving their products. I've been using, I think it's called the Sea Silk Lip Balm. It's great, really, really great. And in fact, I packed it into my carry-on for a recent trip that I took because, you get so dried out on the plane, and I knew it was going to save me. So anyway, I wanted to mention this because it's such a fantastic cleansing oil. If you're one that likes cleansing oils, I would definitely give this one a shot. Okay, let's talk about makeup. Sorry, I keep losing my voice. I don't know what that's about. It's just, maybe I'm tired, maybe I'm talking too much, who knows? Okay. So pardon the frogginess here. Let's talk about the elephant in the room first. So this came out over the past few weeks, and it is the Louis Vuitton Beauty products. So I did get one eyeshadow quad. I got this one. I already can't remember the names of all of these. And these are refillable, so it's not on the back. It is the most neutral, shall we say, out of all of the ones that they launched with. So I did get that. I did also get one of the lipsticks and one of the balms. Sorry, it is really stuck in this suede pouch. Okay, so here is the balm. Really lovely. Nicely tinted, feels great on the lips. And then here is the lipstick. Oh man, really, really in there. And here is the lipstick. So the lipstick color I got is 104 Beige Machina, and I did get the satin finish. So they had satin and matte finishes for the lipstick. So I happen to like more of a creamy kind of satin finish. Again, I'm so dry. I don't need anything to emphasize that. So I usually go for satins if that's an option instead of mattes. And then the balm that I got is actually I'm not sure what number. It is Nude Poetry. So all of these things are refillable. All of the packaging has a nice weight to it. In fact, this has a really dense, heavy weight to it. Really beautiful. There's absolutely no doubt how beautiful these products are. My one comment about those products is because of their price point, they're okay. They're okay. I mean, they're lovely products. I do think the eyeshadows lasted a really long time. They lasted, if you watched one of my vlogs while I was back east, I wore this throughout a workout where I was like really sweaty, like on the treadmill, not just like lifting weights, but like got really sweaty. And the eyeshadows didn't budge. I think that was probably maybe a first for me. I feel like unless I'm wearing like a cream, long-lasting shadow, almost like a liquid lipstick version of an eyeshadow, eyeshadows fade. They fade, especially throughout a workout, especially if I've been sweating. But these eyeshadows didn't really budge. So that is definitely like one like great characteristic of those eyeshadows. Now, again, are they worth the price point? Probably not. I mean, I don't, especially the lipsticks, I don't find them that special. I don't find the formula to be earth-shattering. I don't feel like I end up looking like, I don't know, I've had lip filler or Botox on my lips. I don't know, like something like transformative. Nothing transformative happens. And so, those are my thoughts, that they're very nice products. But I think unless you are like an LV fan, like the biggest number one fan in the entire world, I don't know that these are worth the price point. I mean, that's just a reality. And I could probably say that for a lot of makeup, but this was priced like really, really high. I believe the quad is $250. I think $240 or $250, and the lipsticks were $160. Am I remembering that correctly? Somewhere around there. Very, very, very expensive. So it's, really, unless you are a collector and you just love this packaging, it's just beautiful to you, which, it really is. It's very, very beautiful. I just don't think you need to run out and get this. So that's that on the LV Beauty. Not really much else to say. Let's talk about foundations, because I did actually test out 3 different foundations this past month, which is a lot. Again, so many releases. So what I have on today is definitely fast becoming one of my favorites. It is the new Natasha Denona High Glam Foundation. It is hydrating and blurring. It is long wear and it is radiant, and it's a serum foundation. Now, all of these descriptors I felt like were almost contrary to one another, because I love radiant and hydrating foundations. A serum foundation, great. But the fact that this is long wear, I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. Usually long wear foundations are more matte. They kind of like completely dry down against your face. And this really has a really nice glow. I don't have, no, that's a lie. I was going to say I don't have any powder down, but I do actually have finishing powder down. But this just has such a lovely natural finish. It's like skin-like with a little extra something. So it's really beautiful. It does last a really, really long time. The shade that I have is N4, Neutral 4, and I did get this in store at Sephora because I wanted to make sure like the shade was going to be right. So if you do use me as a shade reference, I think N4 is a good one. It does a great job covering. It has more coverage than foundations I generally like, because they end up looking very makeup-y. I don't like a heavy makeup look. I really like one like very light, very natural. And even though this has some decent coverage, like around my nose, I don't have any additional concealer on today or anything like that. It doesn't look heavy. It's a really great, just like texture, finish, everything. Long wear, like the whole deal. So very impressed with this. It does come with a pump. There are a ton of shades. And yeah, I can't say enough good things about this. So loving this new High Glam foundation. I did also try the new Gucci Glow Skin Tint. This is the Tinted Moisturizer Skin Perfector Radiant Finish. I did get the shade Fair Medium, number 21. I think this shade did work for me. This is okay. It's okay. I wouldn't say that this is one of my favorites. Again, this is probably the formula type that I like the most. This kind of like tinted moisturizer or just like a light coverage foundation. So I have a lot of these. And so you really have to impress me if you're like a tinted moisturizer skin tint kind of situation. And it was okay. I felt like my skin looked decent after I used it. It did feel very, or I should say it did look very glowy. It felt nice on the skin. It definitely not long wear. I definitely saw a little bit of wearing away when I did test this out. And it did sit on the tip of my nose just a little bit funny. This is the oiliest part of my skin. But other than that, it was fine. It was fine. No complaints, but I can't say that I was like, wow, like blown away when I applied it. So that's the Gucci Glow Skin Tint. And then I did also test out the Victoria Beckham, the foundation drops. And I did get the shade 4 Light. And this was also nice. I liked this one more than the Gucci Glow. Again, I have so many foundations like this. I feel like you really need to blow my skirt up. If I'm gonna reach for you, I'm going to continuously reach for you and have you become like one of my favorites. This is close, but it's not quite there. And I prefer, let me just think of some off the top of my head. I prefer the Lisa Eldridge, is it the Seamless Skin Tint? Hold on, let me get it. So the Seamless Skin Enhancing Tint, I use shade T4. It's this egg guy. I prefer this one to the Victoria Beckham. I just pulled out a bunch because I went over to the drawer. I have the Dr. Jart Premium Beauty Balm. I like that one. I really like the MAC Studio Radiance Face and Body. This is a great lightweight long wear foundation. I mean, just like iconic been around forever kind of product. I love it. And then of course my Surratt Dewdrop foundation, which is one of my all-time favorite foundations. Now, there's nothing wrong with this. I just prefer those. But I think maybe you've used all those, or maybe you have a bunch of skin tints in your collection that you really love and you just feel like a change. There's nothing wrong with this one. If you want to try something different, I would definitely give this one a shot. It does have that proprietary Augustinus Bader skincare product. It's that TFC8. So Victoria Beckham did team up with Augustinus Bader to create this product. So it definitely does have some skincare benefits in there, probably a bit more so than any of the other products that I mentioned. So if that's kind of like a main selling point for you, then definitely you may want to try it. But in terms of skin tints and in terms of like a foundation and how it looks and wears on your skin, this is fine. It's very, very good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Again, it just wasn't like, whoa, like forget everything else I have in my collection. This is the one. I wouldn't say that. So anyway, enough about that. That is the Victoria Beckham, the foundation drops. Okay. Oh my gosh. I really feel like there's like so much to talk about. I'm not even sure where to start or where to go. Let's go actually with under eye brightening powder, the Laura Mercier. I think it's a Secret under eye brightening setting powder. Nope, Secret brightening under eye setting powder. That's the full name. So this is a product that's been around forever. Translucent has been around forever, but now she's come out with shades. So I have soft pink, which does a nice kind of brightening job underneath my eyes. There's also peach, golden, and then rich. I think it's called rich peach, and that is for deeper skin tones. They're beautiful. All of these powders, they're so finely milled, they're so soft, and I really like powdering underneath my eyes, even though I have dry skin, just because it just helps makeup in this area behave. Mascara, eyeliner, concealer, all of that stuff, it really helps makeup behave. And so not only does this like blur underneath my eyes, not only does it brighten, but it really does help in terms of like it being a powder. It really, really helps all of the makeup around my eyes behave really, really well. So I love this. I've applied it with a brush, just kind of lightly sweeping it over my under eye area. I also like to pick up some with my finger and like press it in, especially if I have kind of like a tacky concealer. Again, I don't have any concealer down today because I wanted to show you the Natasha Denona foundation all by itself. But if I do have like a tacky concealer down, I do like to sometimes like press powder in over it. Otherwise, I feel like it catches if I'm trying to sweep. But yeah, this has been really, really wonderful. And I do have that on underneath my eyes today. So that's fantastic. And I'm so, so happy that they came out with different shades. All right. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Palette Unlocked. They sent me the Deer version. And, I really like this palette. And I almost feel, not stupid, but kind of stupid saying that because Hourglass comes out with these palettes like year after year after year, and they started with like a basic one, and now they have these special edition limited ones that they come out for the holidays. There's 3 different versions. I mean, there's so many of these palettes like roaming around, and they have started creating like brand new shades to put in these palettes to make it a little bit more enticing, especially for those of us who already have like all of the powders. So these 4 are already existing, and then these 2 blushes in this palette are brand new. And for the other ones that came out with this collection, there's like different ones that are brand new products. And I just love these palettes. I really do. No matter how many times Hourglass comes out with these, I just think they're beautiful to look at. I love the artwork that they always put on, especially these holiday limited edition ones that they started doing. And I love the Hourglass powder. So it's great. They're these like baked powders that are just really, really just gorgeous, so smooth on the skin. And I happen to really love these 2 blush colors. And we've got a pink that's nice for cool looks, peach, which is nice for warm looks. And today I just mixed the 2. I just put my brush in both and just sweep them on my cheeks, and voila. Like just absolutely gorgeous. And there's just something about like a face palette. I think you guys know this. I just love a face palette. It just reminds me of like an artist palette. They're fun, they're beautiful. You can travel with these and end up with like a finishing powder, setting powder, a highlighter, a bronzer, blushes, like the whole thing in here. And they're just beautiful. They're beautiful. So this is definitely one of my favorites, despite having like almost all of these palettes from past years. I love them. I look forward to them coming out every year. Just silly, but I do really love them. And let me talk about some other blushes. So Ciel came out with these Flush and Protect SPF 45 powder blushes. This one is Chill, and this one is Shy. Here is Chill and Shy. And I'm sorry, I'm looking around because I have a third one. Sorry, I don't know where I put it, but it's a little bit too deep for my skin tone, so I actually haven't been wearing it or using it. These are the two that I've been using. So I really like these blushes. I think they're very, very smooth. They have a matte appearance, but they don't look dry. They just blend out really beautifully. And the pigmentation in these is actually really light. And so I feel like they're mistake proof. I feel like if you're someone that really likes a light touch to their blush, this is a great one. Or if maybe you're new to blush and you're like afraid of ending up with like clown cheeks, this is a great blush for you. I just really like the soft touch that these blushes have. But I will say that I'm still just gaga over these Ilia Soft Focus Blurring Blushes. I think I talked about these in my last Luxury Beauty Lowdown. I'm not sure. But I think maybe since then I've purchased Glimpse, and I love this shade. This like neutral, slightly cool tone shade is perfect. Let me just do a swatch of this guy. And I just really love the finish of these. These have a little bit more of a glow than the Ciel, and they do have, I think, a little bit more pigmentation than the Ciel. So, you know, if I had to choose between these, I still prefer the Ilia, but I do like these Ciel. There's nothing wrong with them. The pigmentation is just a little bit on the lighter side, I have found. Okay, so new deep loves, the Natasha Denona Eye Sculpt Texture and Tone palettes. This is the soft version, and this is the dramatic version. Let me hold up both for you. So here is soft, and here is dramatic. And of course, I'll throw some swatches up here for you guys. So I love these palettes. And I typically am someone that likes smaller quads, quints, or maybe like a small like 6-pan palette. Like I really like guesswork being taken out of it for me. You know, just show me the colors that I can use together. But what Natasha Denona has done is she has like laid out these palettes so that they are very, very easy to use, whether you want to use them by column. And today I actually used from the soft palette this C column. So I have C2, like on the outer corner and crease area, just to kind of add a little bit of dimension. I put C1, that shimmery shade, just all over my lid. And then with C3, the deepest shade here, I just added it to the corners here just to kind of, you know, add a teensy bit of drama. So easy, and you can do that with any of these columns. Then of course you can do whatever you want. But these are great everyday palettes. They have so many shades that you can use with maybe some funkier palettes that you may have, because they're just basic, they're just neutral. And the dramatic palette, while it is deeper, it's also warmer. So if you like warmer looks, this is absolutely wonderful. But I think what stands out the most to me are the formulas. The mattes are so silky smooth. They like blend themselves out. They are like perfectly pigmented, really easy to use. They're not scary. Like, oh my God, like I just put down too much. Like just perfect, absolutely perfect. I love these palettes. I love the size of them. So each one has 18 shades, but these palettes aren't like overwhelming. Like you need 2 hands to hold them or whatever. Like I can hold it in one hand very, very easily. She's managed to kind of like squeeze a lot into one palette, and these pans are removable. So we've got the pinholes in the back. We've got nice sturdy packaging. We've got a beautiful large mirror. I haven't taken the the protective seal off, but nice sizable mirror on the inside. Just really well thought out, beautifully formulated palettes. They're just gorgeous. I'm like such a huge fan of these. So I did get these in PR, but I do believe if you purchase these, you will get these cards where you'll get some shade placements. And I think that's just so helpful. I love playing around and kind of like experimenting. But I know most people they just want to get an eye look on. And so these are great for that. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about these eye palettes. Just really, really gorgeous. I wish they were a little bit more travel friendly, but she does have this mini eye sculpt palette, which I believe came out first, right? This came out before these bigger palettes, yeah. And so if I want kind of like the feel of those larger ones, I can always bring this one around. But this is an all matte shadow, and I do like using at least a little bit of satin on my eyes. Again, dry skin, older lady here, like I need a little bit of shine and juiciness to my looks. But those are the Natasha Denona eye sculpt palettes, and I love them. I love them. Formula, everything, love them. And I will say, I almost forgot about this quad because once the Natasha Denona palettes came into my life, it's like I kind of forgot about all the other eyeshadows that I've been testing. But I did want to mention this Sicily, the Fito eye palette. This is a #1 Tender Toffee. And I think for now, they only have one other quad like color story. It's more of a rose. And I wanted to get this because I thought this would just be a color story that I would wear more often. It is just beautiful, rich browns. And I really like the formula of these as well. Just really gorgeous. They work really well. We've got 2 mattes and then 2 up top here, 2 shades that are a little bit more shimmery, more in the satin family. These work really beautifully if you're not into big palettes, if you don't want to spend the money on the Louis Vuitton quad. This may be up your alley. So we've got beautiful packaging. We've got the zebra print, nice mirror here. And it's just, yeah, it's really beautiful palette, very straightforward, works wonderfully, you know, no guessing game. Pigmentation is nice, very smooth, like all the things, very lovely, very Sicily quality. So I did want to mention that, even though I do feel like Natasha Denona has kind of like overshadowed everything. Okay, I'm rooting around one of my travel bags here because I wanted to talk about an eyeliner, which I hope I didn't lose in my travels, but the Sarah Creole eyeliners. So I had 4 of them, and you know, all these colors are great. They're really, really beautiful. And these are called the Eyes Up Creamy Kajal Longwear Liner. And today I have Everyday Taupe on. And what I like about these liners is that they do like smudge out really, really beautifully. Now, I was a little bit skeptical because they come with brushes at the end. And generally, I don't like using a brush with my eyeliners. I prefer like one of those sponge tips, and that way I can like really smudge out the eyeliner. But these happen to be so creamy and so soft, yet long wear, that I can use the brush, and the brush just like very gently like glides and moves the eyeliner around. It's really nice, really, really quite nice. And you know, I was thinking about these in comparison to my beloved like Prada lines, gliding, you know, longwear eyeliners. I love the Prada eyeliners. I really do. But they are quite different from these Sarah Creole eyeliners. This has a thicker, almost stickier texture to it, so that they glide on really beautifully. They're not a gel eyeliner. They don't have that like kind of artificial slickness to them, but they don't like blend out. They're not quite as like soft and creamy as the Sarah Creole. So I really like these. And in fact, the one that I brought that I can't find was the only eye makeup, aside from mascara, was the only eye makeup that I brought on one of my recent trips. And I used that eyeliner and smudged it out as a kind of, you know, way to mimic eyeshadow, and it was great. It was really, really great. So great that I lost it. So anyway, here are swatches of the 4 colors that I have. So I've got Rich Cocoa, which is the deepest one. Then we've got Copper. We have Everyday Taupe, which again is the one that I'm wearing. And then I think the one that I'm missing is called something bronzed or bronze. So the bronze and the copper both have like a little bit of a metallic sheen, and then the cocoa and the taupe are both matte eyeliners. But I really love them because the formula is really, really nice. Very creamy, very light feeling, blends out beautifully, seamlessly with the brush. Like really nice, really nice. So anyway, wanted to mention those. Oh, and before we move too far away from cheeks, I completely forgot to mention these Victoria Beckham Color Wash Blush Water Tints. I really thought this was going to be something kind of gimmicky, but these are awesome. These are awesome. Really easy to use. I love the dispenser. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. So I thought this was just something that, I don't know, that like kind of picked up the product and then you just kind of dropped it on, but it's actually a pipette. Like it picks up the color there, and when you depress the button, it kind of covers this silver ball and then you dab it onto your skin. It's really nice. It dispenses the product beautifully. And I was afraid, you know, when you're dealing with like a liquid or cream product and you have this kind of packaging situation, oftentimes it gets really goopy around the outside, and you just end up with like a lot of product and kind of a mess. Not with this. So the packaging, they just thought out like really, really well, especially for something, you know, this thin, and for it to not leak and not make a mess. I think is pretty awesome. And then the color wash, it's so beautiful. It's a light wash of color, but it blends out really nicely and it sits well over and under makeup. It's just a really cool product. I was really surprised. I thought it was, you know, kind of gimmicky. I thought, oh, this is probably just going to be kind of a mess. It's not going to blend out well. It's going to be kind of blotchy or whatever, because, you know, it's like, it's liquid, but it has like a nice kind of like, viscosity, is that the right word? It has a nice kind of viscosity to it, like where it just sort of glides when you blend it out, but it sets down as well. It's really wonderful. And if you guys watched my Victoria Beckham video where I talk about the foundation drops and these, you will have seen these in action. But yeah, they're really cool, like really, really cool. Okay, I've got a bunch of lip products to talk about. First, I want to talk about the Ravi lip liners. So today I have, what color is this? I think it's honey. Yeah, today I have honey on. These lip liners are very, very similar to the Westman Atelier lip liners in that they have a density to them. There's a little bit of stickiness to them. They do not budge. Absolutely do not budge. And you can even see, like, since I've been talking, my lipstick is kind of like wearing away, but that honey lip liner is still there. It is not going anywhere. It is a wonderful, wonderful alternative to the Westman Atelier lip liners. I think the shades that Allie has come out with, wonderful. And the texture is just really, really nice. Not drying at all. Not like too sticky, but when you use them, you'll feel like a little bit of like density to them. And when you try and blend them out, that's when you'll kind of feel like a little bit of resistance to them smearing. So they're, you know, long lasting, and then that they really like stay put. And I'm so impressed with these. So these are the Ravi Beauty lip liners that I really love. Okay, as you guys know, I cannot shut up about these Chantecaille lip cremes. So I don't use this word often, but I am obsessed with the shade Bamboo. It's what I've been using nonstop since I got it. It is what I'm wearing today with the Ravi lip liner in honey. Great match. Great match. I love this formula. I love this shade. And it is a creamy lipstick. And so I wasn't expecting them to be long wear, but they really last a lot longer than I thought. So, I mean, just gorgeous colors, gorgeous formulation. There's something about Chantecaille lip products. They really can't be beat. They're so, so good. They always feel so good on the lips, like really, really feel great, but they stay true to the pigment. Like they don't do anything weird on my lips. Like they're just, they're so good. So love these lip cremes, and Bamboo, my favorite. I have also been quite impressed with these Made. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize, but I'm just going to say Made Revive lip balms. And I did get Vow, and it has a metal tip, so nice and cooling on the lips. But this formula, there's something really dense about this lip balm, so it feels like very conditioning. It feels like skincare for your lips, but it has such a silky silky, silky texture that it's not sticky. It's not so heavy that it's like, oh, I just have something sitting on my lips. It's just thick enough that it's really insulating for your lips. But it's not too heavy where you just feel like, you know, you've just like glopped on a lip mask. That's exactly what it's not. It's not gloppy at all. It's just really, really just like luxuriously silky, really, really silky texture. Like so impressed with this texture. I think they have just like maybe 3 shades. I think they have a clear, they have this Vow, and then I think they have one that's like a little bit deeper. I may get the deeper one because this is nice for like a natural, like subtle tint. But if you want one that's just a little bit more dramatic, yeah, I may go for the deeper one. Anyway, I love this, love it. The packaging is so pretty too. And I love that gold metal tip. Yeah, this is just fabulous. Now, Sisley came out with a new loose powder. I got number 1 Shimmer. And I did not like it as a setting powder. Not that I didn't like it. It wasn't great as a setting powder. So I used it as a finishing powder and it's wonderful, wonderful as a finishing powder. So that's what I did today. I used my Sonia G Buffer Pro. I love this guy. This brush, if you can get your hands on it, because I think it's like constantly sold out on Beautylish, but this brush is magic when it comes to finishing powders, because as soon as you start buffing it in, whew, you're just like polishing your skin. You guys have heard me mention this 1,000 times. You've seen me demo this 1,000 times. And, you know, I have lost my favorite finishing powder, which was the Guerlain Meteorites. They reformulated it where the sheen now it's just like too shiny. It's too shiny. It's too dusty. I don't like the fragrance either. And so I've been kind of on the hunt for like a new finishing powder, and this one is really lovely. It is definitely more subtle than even the old Meteorites that I loved. That older Meteorites really made your skin look like marble. Like it was really like smooth and polished. This has a much more like subtle effect, but a really beautiful one nonetheless. Like it just leaves your skin looking just slightly glowy, and it does a really nice job kind of like melding all of the products on your face, you know, so you don't have that like stripe of contour and blush and highlight and all that kind of stuff. It's just beautiful. So loving this powder. And then I do want to talk about this Dior Forever Nude Matte Filter Powder. So this is a newly reformulated pressed powder from Dior. Now, I did try this when I was back east, when I was at my friend's lake house, and I enjoyed it, but I have to tell you, I just have not gotten a chance to try it much beyond that. So I don't have many more thoughts than what I shared with you in that video. I did really like it. I did really like it, but I do want to kind of keep playing with it at least a few more times to give you my thoughts on it. So maybe you'll see this in next month's Luxury Beauty Lowdown. And then they did also come out with this powder, which is their Nude Radiant Filter Luminescent Powder. Now, this is more of a baked powder. It has much more of a sheen to it. And it kind of reminds me of that NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder because it has that kind of whiteness to it. Now, not my only issue with this powder, it's very, very hard to pick up. I mean, I'm like really going in there, and this is all I'm getting on my finger. Now, you don't really need a ton of this powder, but it's hard to pick up. It does kind of blend down to nothing. And this also, it's one of those that's great as a finishing powder because of this kind of like layer of pearlescence that it gives you. It's just a little, I just find it a little bit hard to use. I don't have enough product. It's almost like I don't pick up enough product where I'm able to like buff it. I think that's why I really like loose powders when it comes to finishing powders, because you need enough of the powder to actually have something to buff, if you will. This is one that I think you can just kind of like lightly dust on, but then I don't think you really get that polished effect. So I don't know, there's just something kind of missing with the formula in here. It's almost, I don't know, it's almost too subtle, like you don't pick up enough. And then when you do like kind of continuously build, then you get this sheen, which is almost, it's almost too white. Like the finish is nice, but then like you start to see the white in the powder. I don't know. It's a little bit off for me. For me, it's a little bit off. So definitely not a favorite. I don't think it's a fail, but it's not for me. Two things from Dior which are a fail for me are their newly reformulated Backstage palettes. I think they're like the highlighting palettes, the 4 baked products. Those I've already returned because I'm like, these are so glittery, so glittery, like disco ball, glitter bomb glittery. And, you know, yes, that's a personal preference. I'm not the biggest fan of glitter. Not the biggest fan of glitter, especially, you know, on my face. I don't mind it in my eyeshadow, maybe a little bit in my lipstick if like we're doing a holiday look or something, but just like random glitter, just like on my cheeks, I just don't think it never looks, what's the word? It never looks like cohesive because it's just like right here. You have some glitter. And if it was a little bit more subtle, maybe I could get into the palettes, but they are like glitter bombs. So I got 2 of the newer ones, both of them, all 4 shades, just overly glittery. So not a fan, total fail for me. And then the Dior On Stage lipsticks. I actually gave those to my friend Sarah. She didn't mind the fragrance. So again, this is a me issue. But they're so fragrant. And she did mention, she said that, wow, these are really fragrant, but she didn't actually mind wearing them. I don't like that. I'm not the biggest fan. These are the new slim stick ones. Really beautiful colors. I like the colors that I got. They wore really beautifully. And I remember, you know, again, I got these while I was at the lake and I put one on for the Lady Gaga concert because I was like, oh, I want to see if these are like long wearing or whatever. I could just smell it like all night and it really bothered me. I just don't like that much fragrance in my lip products. A little bit, fine. A little bit fades, great. But it was very strong, very strong, very present. So not a fan at all. So those were big fails for me. So that is it for this, I was gonna say this month's, but the past few weeks, favorites, fails, and thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning into this Luxury Beauty Lowdown. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I would love to hear what some of your favorites and fails were from the past few weeks. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.